Hi yoga students. Today we're going to be talking about ahimsa, which means non-harming or non-violence, and how we can use ahimsa in our yoga practice to keep us safe. So we've talked about how we use words that are kind and compassionate towards ourselves with our mantras, but also when we're doing physical practices, we want to listen to our bodies and move in a way to keep ourselves safe. So we're going to start with some yoga poses and show you different ways that you can change them or modify them to better suit your body. So our first yoga pose we're going to look at is Virasana. And in Virasana, you bring your knees together, so your knees touch, and your feet are apart with the tops of your feet on the floor, and you sit back onto the ground. Now for me, this hurts my knees and I can't go all the way down. So for ahimsa, one of the things I could do is take a pillow and put a pillow between my legs so I'm up a little bit higher. That kind of makes my knees go a little bit farther apart, and I don't have to come down quite as far. And I can still hold hero's pose right here. So I could sit on a pillow. When we're in yoga class, we'll have access to yoga blocks, and we could put that yoga block between our ankles and sit down. So this makes me a little bit lower. So if that's too low, I could change the height of my block. I could take it up another step, and that might be a little easier on the knees. So there's an option for you. So when we're in a pose, not every person has to look exactly the same. Our next yoga pose is a new yoga pose called bhujangasana, which means cobra pose. And in bhujangasana, you're lying on your belly. Your toenails are on the floor, just like they were in Virasana. And you're gonna slide your hands back so they're underneath your shoulders. Draw your elbows in close and tuck your chin. In bhujangasana, you push into the floor and lift your chest, just like you're a hissing cobra. But for some folks, that may not feel good on your back. So, options in bhujangasana: keep your chin tucked and maybe just lift a little bit up. You can keep looking at the floor, or if it feels okay on your neck, you can lift your head and look up. So this is like a baby cobra, so this is another option. Or you could come up just a little bit higher if that feels okay in your back, or if it feels all right, you can come all the way up. So remember, we have options. We want to take care of our body. We don't want to harm ourselves, so we can stay here or here or here for bhujangasana. We have one more yoga pose that we're going to look at today. It's another new one. You're going to start sitting on your bottom. Move around so you can feel the bones in your bottom touching the floor. And you're going to keep your spine tall. So we don't want to round into our back, but lift your chest and take your shoulders down and back. Your feet are going to start off on the floor with knees bent, and bring your hands behind your thighs. Go ahead and point your toes and lean back until you feel your core start to turn on. So this is our first option for navasana. And you can always stay right here. If you feel that heat in your abdominals in this pose, and that feels like a challenge, you can stay there. Our next level, we're gonna lift one leg off the floor. So toes are pointed, chest is tall, lean back, feel your core turn out. So your next option would be to take one leg off the ground. Let's hold that for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and switch. Other leg lifts. You're holding on for support. You're keeping your spine long, and you're feeling your core muscles work. Let's hold for 2, 1, put that toe down. Take a little lean forward, maybe round your back, roll your shoulders, and we're gonna try the next option. So if those first two options weren't so hard for you, we can go to option number 3. And option 3 is both feet are gonna come off the floor. So give a little wiggle, make sure you can feel those bones connecting to the floor. Lift your chest so your spine is long. Your hands are holding behind the thighs, point the toes. Lean back till you feel that vibration in your core, and either take 1 foot off the floor or 2 feet off the floor. We're gonna hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Put your feet down, cross your ankles, come back to Sukhasana. Do a little arching and rounding in your spine. Give yourself a little bit of break here. Remember, we're practicing ahimsa, so we want to take our time and we want to choose the option that's right for you. And as we're exploring these options, you can always go back to one of the previous choices if that works better for your body. That's what ahimsa is all about. Just bring your knees back together, your hands behind the thighs. Point your toes, keep your chest up, lean back. So this is where we started. You can stay right here. Or we can go to one leg up, switch sides. Or we can go to 2 legs up, and then our fourth and final option would be to release the hands and extend them out. Wherever you are, let's hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Cross your ankles, come back down.